So I didn't actually disband any troops yet. Um, I am actually going to move them all to a central location, which is Rome, and I've already done that for the most part. And there were some that I didn't get, and I just got a couple of achievements. Still don't know if those show up, but I don't know if... Looks like I'm still missing a few. Oh wait, I think I need to wait until the end of the month, actually, before stuff happens. But right now I am at 1,034 out of 489 force limit. And that's land force limit. For my navy, I am at 609 out of 374 force limit. And I've actually got my navy coming to Rome as well. But I need the end of the month to come along so that all of my troops get some morale so they can all move. And a bunch of places now produce coal. I don't know what that last message was. Oh, Protestant Empire is no longer affecting us. That means I lose conversion speed, right? Okay. We'll take care of converting after everything is said and done. So something else that I want to do is start making things states, and most of this stuff should be state cores, I think. So we'll go ahead and make Lombardy a state. I think Tuscany was the other one. And I guess some of them only have territorial cores. What was next? Netherlands? See, and so all of those were already had state cores on them. Wallonia. And there are a lot of state cores, or states that I can make. Pretty sure there are a lot. Actually, might be easier to look at the regions map mode. Flanders. Ile-de-France. And this is part of the reason why I didn't disband a lot of my army yet. And that is, as I make stuff states, my force limit should go up. Malopolska. I think that's where Krakow is, right? It is. Then Lorraine. And I'm going by development. Just sheer development. Burgundy. Toledo and Holland. Toledo. Holland. Loire. There it is, okay. So I guess it refers to the Loire River Valley, not the Loire Estuary. Bohemia. Upper Swabia, Lower Bavaria. Now I wish... Now the reason why I'm not clicking up here is because for some odd reason it goes in some weird order. So it doesn't start at the top. But I do know both of those are in Germany somewhere. So that's Lower Bavaria. Oh, Upper Swabia. There's Lower. There's Upper. Okay. And then Lower Bavaria. Venice. Lazio Campania. Castile and Wielkopolska. I believe Wielkopolska is where war. No, that's Mazovia. There it is. Palatinate and North Rhine. There it is, Mainz, where Mainz is. That's Westphalia, North Rhine. Brittany, Lower Swabia, Upper Bavaria. Right, it was... No, Lower Swabia first. then Hesse. Languedoc in central Italy. Languedoc is somewhere in France, I believe. Central Italy. Sicily. Transdanubia. Southern Transylvania. Bulgaria. There it is. Silesia. Emilia-Romagna. Oh, no, never mind. That's all the states I can make. And the states will demanding control of territory. I wonder why. Can construct the Panama Canal. Let's go to cores, actually. Because I have to make a lot of them, apparently. Burn through a lot of my admin points. Everything's coring, so now we can convert some stuff, probably. Tokat. Go with the... You know what? No. I'm actually going to go with the stuff that's easier to convert first. I can invest in diplomatic and military technology. Could construct the Panama Canal if I wanted to. Okay, I want to... possibly... No, I need to find... states. So everything in green is a state. Well, actually, hold on. Before I do that, what does Unite Home Region do? Okay, sure. We'll complete the Unite Home Region mission. That should probably go away, I would imagine. It's not helpful. That's actually not helpful at all, now that I look at it. So, find large tax base. Not much of other things. Sure, I'll go with Württemberg, the clergy. Paper is pretty expensive. So is cloth, right? Cloth is, yeah, 4.05. Wool is not terribly expensive. That looks like, Cassel looks like a nobility province. Ratibor. Nope, Ratibor makes coal. Sure, we'll go with that. Salt is not terribly expensive either. Nor is livestock, I hope. No, not really. We're at 5% for the clergy right now. Nobility in Odenburg. Ooh, Naples is actually probably a good one to give to the clergy. That's gems. Gems is actually cheaper than... Gems are actually cheaper than livestock. That makes no sense to me. But, we'll go with it. That's cloth. Incense is relatively cheap. What about wine? And wine's okay to give away too. Seriously, Constantinople was not one of the ones that I made a state. Clergy there. Do Danzig as well, I guess. So now, nobility. So I'm looking for high base manpower costs, or base manpower. Anywhere else? That's okay, I think. Anything in England? I mean, London, maybe, honestly. We'll go with Kent. I'm gonna hold off on giving London to an estate, though. Zealand. Wait a minute. Okay, Zealand is salt. Didn't even check. We'll go with Heidelberg. Okay, now we're at 10%. So we might have to do that again sooner or later. Now let's zoom out. I'm sorry I've not done anything this episode, but I probably should have said this at the beginning of this episode. It's going to be a lot of maintenance, or housekeeping and micromanagement. Where's this at? And why? Well, just disband that. That's all mercenaries anyway. Okay, anything else? Teruel? Okay. That one's in Madeira. This is also in Madeira. Those are on ships. Those guys are in the New World, and I need them to go deal with that. Also New World. Dealing with England. Ivory Coast. New World, New World. And everything else is moving to Rome. We also have 2 more merchants, which I'm also going to have to deal with moving them around. Okay, so right away, I will keep the Second Army. And who am I going to war with next? How long do I have on a truce with Portugal? (1757), 4 years. Russia's probably a while too. 1758. And the Mamluks. Cool. Mamluks are my next target. So we're going to engage in some Hearts of Iron like warfare, I guess is what it is. In which, in the idea that we're basically just going to set up a line of troops along the border and yeah, set up a front on the border and call it good. We can complete another mission? Oh, dominate trade. And that's for the rest of the game. For the rest of the campaign, one owned province in your home trade node will get local trade power plus 10. Okay. I mean, not that we need it, because our trade power in the English Channel should be 100%. And in Genoa and in Venice. Speaking of which, collect from trade. And the 2 in the other end nodes. So now we wait for stuff to arrive in Rome. We're trading in grain and wine and wool, fish, salt, naval supplies, copper, iron, livestock, and paper. So, split off mercenaries, disband them. Split off Cav, disband them. They are useless to me. What is our force maximum manpower? 531,000. What is Rome's supply limit? 82. We're trading in fur and gems. Okay, so detach mercenaries. And now should have detached Cav as well. Oh well, it's all going to be the same number of steps. I don't know if the force limit over or the supply limit over in here has. Okay, yeah, there's enough to. I'll sort it out once I get actual troops that are all the troops over there that I'm going to keep over there for a while. So is this all of the ships? Is this every navy I have? No, it's not. We're making money right now. Somehow. We're how much over the force limit? Oh, okay. We're not actually that far. We're only 100 or only 94 over the force limit. Only 94 over the land force limit, and only 47 again over the naval force limit. Okay. Still, I don't want a bunch of mercenaries. We are making a ton of money. I can actually... I'm going to reconfigure my merchants right now. Anyway. So, Gulf of St. Lawrence, I'll keep him there. Chesapeake Bay, I'll keep him there. North Sea gets recalled. Champagne gets recalled. And Lubeck gets recalled. Ivory Coast stays. So, the reason I'm recalling all those merchants is because, and I actually learned this playing the, like off screen, playing the World Conquest as the Roman Empire. Also going to activate all of my forts, because why not? Why wouldn't we do that? So, how much are we spending now? Okay, we're still making a ton of money. Is that no matter if you control trade in a node, it will that percentage of value will flow out of that node. But you send a merchant there to steer it, and or multiply the trade by a certain amount. So, when it comes to the New World, I actually do want to steer the trade. Actually, I don't need to steer it from Gulf of St. Lawrence, because the same amount will always flow out of it. I do want to steer it from Chesapeake Bay because, yeah, so I don't actually need this merchant here. Instead, at the end of this month, I'm going to look at what nodes I control, that I have pretty much absolute control in, or a majority control in. So, what is my trade value right now? I'm making 796 ducats. So, go to sort by total. English Channel makes the most, Genoa next, then Lubeck. So I want a merchant in Lubeck. And then it looks like Champagne. Then Novgorod. Russia has trade power? Oh yeah, Russia still controls Muscovy. So, let's send the merchant to Lubeck. So it'll get multiplied by a little bit. It'll jump from, at the end of this month, it'll jump from 142 to, I'm not even sure what, but it will be some number. So I can't do math right off the top of my head anyway. But 8 ducats. Alright, so that's the first thing I wanted to do. Because now I need to look at, yes, I was thinking Champagne, but yeah, let's go with Champagne. And we'll steer it towards the English Channel as well. And so this is going to jump. Scientific revolution continues. Our scientific revolution continues to provide benefits. Our scientists are making further developments. The army should benefit. Military tech cost. We'll take admin tech cost, I think, because we have fewer admin points than any of the other points. So this is going to jump from 48.6 to, and I didn't even check how much that changed my trade by. So that was 48.6 multiplied by 2 because it was going in 2 different directions. 97.2, and so it jumps up by 5 ducats there. So, I only chose. Actually, now that I think about it, do I want to recall the merchant from Champagne? So the number increased by there will be 5 ducats. Let's do it. So, because I control a bunch of trade, now, instead of doing what I was thinking about doing, burghers lose influence. So, ignoring Champagne, looking at Lubeck, what can we steer into Lubeck to make that node, like, crazy? Well, Novgorod is one of the higher ones, even though the amount of flowing out of it is what I need to pay attention to. So that's at almost 30, almost 34. So I'm going to ignore Novgorod. Rhineland is next, then Vienna. So from Rhineland, we're going to steer trade toward Lubeck. And that's going to increase. So 35.57 and 150.63. Or hold on. Okay. So the idea is that this will get multiplied again in Lubeck. And so the goal is going to be chain this. Vienna is next. I think is what I said. And so we'll want Vienna to steer towards actually Saxony, because we have another merchant that we can then take and put in Saxony. Coke blast furnaces. Alexander Denneke, an inventor and entrepreneur from Shomode, has come up with a new type of coal-fired blast furnace for the production of cast iron. By making use of coal instead of charcoal, the production of iron has been increased greatly, allowing us to supply the market with larger quantities of cheap iron. Shomode gains introduction of coke blast furnaces until 1763, reduction of construction development cost, and increase of production efficiency. So that's being sent to Saxony. Then this will go towards Rhineland. And I wish I had figured it all out, but it's basically, so right now we're making 816 ducats a month from trade. That actually went down. Okay, so maybe I was mistaken? Goes to Saxony, then to Rhineland, and then to okay, so let's try something else. So it's 812 now. Okay, that just went down a bunch. Oh shit, we are getting crushed on manpower right now. Ha ha ha. Whoops. So, get rid of the cav. All of those will return to the thing. Just detach all mercenaries, disband them. And now we have basically 2 extra cannon. We'll move them off to the side. And 74 extra 74 extra infantry. Wish I could just type in a number and say, hey, take that much infantry away from okay, go to Neapolis, and now we start splitting them. And actually, that was too many times. So split off. Ten of each. And then split that in half again. And then look at another 40, or there's another 40k already. So, oh damn it, I'm doing that wrong, aren't I? 40k is how many I want. And I want to space these guys out a little bit because I don't want them all to stay together and take attrition together. Okay. Truce with Spain, Japan, all of those people has ended. Sorry for interrupting the trade dialogue I was having with myself. But okay, so now split off another. Oops. Okay. Right, there's several 40s there, right? 70. Okay, so that's a 10. That's probably the easier way to do it, isn't it? So find me the 100 stacks. Split them in half. Just move. Okay. Now I've gone and confused myself. Okay. Let me think. So there's another 40. Okay. So now split off 5 of each from each of these. Wait a minute, there's 2 40s there. And this should be good. And I'm going to keep the 2 of them in Europe. Western Europe, I mean. So, back to trade. Just so that I'm not losing manpower constantly for a while. Or as much manpower. So, wait a minute. Right, I was going to try to see what that did. No, I'm already looking at that, aren't I? So, try that again. And it deviated only slightly from month to month. So, right now, so we'll go from 797 to 808. Okay, so I'm sorry for being confusing, but petition for redress or deny the petition. We'll accept. Sure. We have a bunch of military points. Let's go ahead and develop, I guess. But yeah, so the idea behind trade is to if you have absolute control in several nodes, is to chain them together. If you don't have absolute control, you want to steer where multiple people are steering. If you are the only one, or if there's only one outgoing node one outgoing route from a trade node, then you don't have to send a merchant there, unless you want to multiply the amount that is being the trade value in that node. If that makes any sense. Okay, so we're good on military now. So next I'm going to go looking for high value trade goods. To develop production in. Mostly it's Actually, glass is pretty expensive too. I mean, yeah, for the most part it is. Copper? We'll call that good for now. Alright, so now we have a bunch of extra infantry. Actually, split off 14 and then split in half. So these armies will can all be reinforced with new regiments. And then this one will go to Umbrian. We have 98 heavies. Let me disband the galleys. Okay. And so now I don't need light ships to protect trade in the English Channel because I have 100% trade, 100% of the trade power there. Protecting trade in Novgorod might not be a bad idea. Protecting trade in the New World would also not be a bad idea. We only have 20% of the trade power in Gulf of St. Lawrence. Oh, Canada has formed. It's a kingdom, too. They don't trust me at all. Why? Okay. Would have liked to get an alliance with them. They are a kingdom, after all. Constructing the Panama Canal. Do I want to? Yes. Yes, I do. Vassal Obligation Act. I want to cancel that as soon as possible because it's pretty useless to me now. I'm also going to send diplomats to my own subject nations because we do have colonial nations still. So these 200, I'm actually going to pretty much split these in half. And then put 105 in that one. So the idea will be to send these guys to the Gulf of St. Lawrence. We'll do slightly damaged on their threshold. And these guys will go to Novgorod. And then that's a lot of heavies and transports. Are those corps finishing for a colonial nation? No. No, they're not. Okay. Oh, I guess some of them did. Sure, we'll call it Imperial Brazil. I'm probably going to end the episode soon, even though nothing has happened. So I'm probably going to... in between episodes, really, we have British Louisiana separatists in Frisian Columbia. That's not going to be Frisian Columbia for very much longer. I'm probably going to rename my colonial subjects in between episodes. So, just because Frisian doesn't fit with us. Wait a minute. Go to... Can actually get Mexico to let us through. Ask for military access. I'm actually going to do this for La Plata as well. And then when those guys get home, I mean, I don't really need military access through Alodia and Ethiopia, so I'm not going to worry about it. And the only reason I want allies at this point, the atmospheric engine. Building an older experimental air pumps. An inventor from Shomode has created a new type of engine that uses steam pressure to pump water out of wet mines. The atmospheric engine now enables mining where it was previously not possible and has greatly increased the efficiency of coal and metal mines in our country. So Shomode gains production, coal, iron, and copper provinces are now more likely to trigger industrialization events. But... yeah, the only reason I have alliances at all right now is because of royal marriages. I don't want my line to die out. If my dynasty dies out, I will click the adopt oligarchic administration and become a republic. That's just what I'm going to do. I feel like constructing the Kiel Canal would be a waste. It's always a waste. My opinion. So we've got these guys all marching into Anatolia. Go there. Go there. Hold on. Actually don't need anyone to go to Mosh. And we'll bring the ships over because they need to pick up some of these guys. Sure, we will take an army to Bayezid. And what? Forget it. Don't even take the artillery. Just disband them. We get the manpower back anyway. We'll use these guys. Something new. Reinforcements for the front line. So now we have 5 armies of infantry reinforcements of 10,000 each. There we go. So yeah, in the next episode, expect a big war with the Mamluks, and by big I mean we're just going to swarm them with our armies. No vassal swarm. I'm basically going to bring these two armies, these 240 stacks down to just sit on these two and defend it. And that is the plan for the attack against... Wait, we have another merchant? How did we get another merchant? I'm not even sure. Oh, Imperial Brazil. Right. So, might as well do this while I'm waiting. What's the next one in the trade node list? Saxony, Rhineland, Lubeck, Vienna. Champagne's still up there, but Baltic Sea. Ragusa. Wait, the Mamluks have a little bit of trade power in Constantinople. So Baltic Sea, I guess, might be the one to go with. It gets multiplied by the Lubeck node. I don't know what the multiplier is though. So, and we will be pulling a lot of. We'll be actually pulling most of the. I think Novgorod is probably the one to go with now, because we have 80% of the trade power. That'll go to Baltic Sea, or it'll then go to Lubeck. And yeah, our trade is at 900 gold right now. So we jumped up by just under another 100. Anyway, so once these guys get over there, and we're not even going to wait on the reinforcements. They're reinforcements, so. But once these guys all get into place, and our ships bring the 80 down from Constantinople to the Suez, we will declare war on the Mamluks, and just, for lack of better terms, blitzkrieg them.